There it is.
Bonte, I do want to get into Brock Purdy here. And the reason why is because I'm listening to all of the rhetoric regarding Brock Purdy, and it's crazy to me. It's honest to God, it's crazy. I mean, I was listening to you and Spadoni yesterday. I was cleaning the cabin on my way home. You guys sounded great, by the way. And you kept referring to Brock Purdy as he's fine. He's fine. I think he's more than fine. And we can have a million different arguments as to who he is. Do I think that he could carry a franchise? Like, you put him on the Carolina Panthers right now, and he is infinitely better than what Bryce Young has shown. No, I don't know how many guys. I don't know how many guys in the league that you could put in Carolina right now, and they would be light years better than what they are.
You need players around you.
Exactly. It's the ultimate team sport, football. But I know what he is for this team, and I think he's a freaking winner. So here's my comparison. I'm not even gonna say, oh, he's Kurt Warner, he's Tom Brady. I'm gonna go Bay Area here. No one should be compared to Steph Curry, right? Steph is one of one. He's completely unique. Now, his resume does not match this guy, and there are some differences. I'll get to that. Bonte, what do you give me for this? Brock Purdy, who's the high school player of his state, just like this guy was the high school player of his state. He comes from a big family where there's brothers and sisters, and they all competed in sports. Multi-sport athlete, okay? Unbelievable rookie of the year type stuff, all right? Come back from a devastating injury, replacing somebody who was a huge fan favorite and an immediate respecter in that clubhouse. I think Brock Purdy at 6'1", 210 reminds me a lot of 6'1", 210 characteristics of Buster Posey. And here's where I'm going with this. Think about this. They both conduct themselves like they have been doing it for over a decade. Think about Buster when he first hit the scene, replacing Benji Molina. And think about what Brock Purdy's done, replacing Jimmy Garoppolo. I know it's easy to forget now. Back then, Benji was a beloved giant. Was he not?
He was.
All right.
We quickly got over that.
No doubt. Have we quickly got over Jimmy Garoppolo?
Yeah, absolutely. But the difference between Benji and Jimmy was that Jimmy helped win a lot of big games.
I would agree with that.
Benji was on a team. He was on teams that didn't even reach 500.
Agreed. But he was a very big fan favorite, and a lot of guys in that clubhouse respected him. Both Buster and Brock Purdy carry themselves, they're both Christians, but they both carry themselves with this kind of like aw shucks Southern mentality. You know what I'm saying? Where they feel like the little brother across the street, don't they?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, Buster's from Georgia. Brock's from Phoenix, Arizona. Two different cultures.
No doubt.
Very different cultures.
But you don't get that aw shucks kind of like.
No, I get a guy who loves to be like, hey, look, I've been doubted. I'm a baller. I played at Iowa State, put some respect on my name, and that was overlooked. Like, Buster was always the dude.
No doubt.
And he was always the Golden Spikes Award winner, played every position at Florida State, went to a College World Series, was a top 5 draft pick. This guy was the last pick of the NFL draft. Nobody had him on his draft board, on their draft boards.
No, I understand. The resumes are different, Bonte. I'm talking about how they conduct themselves, the aura with which I see them through, all right? They're mature beyond their years. When you looked at Buster Posey at 23 years old when he joined that Giants clubhouse, you're like, damn, it feels like he's been here a decade, doesn't it?
No, he was a lifer.
And when I look at Brock Purdy and I listen to him talk at a podium, I go, damn, it feels like he's been here a decade. They don't give you wild statements in front of the media. They're very matter of fact, and they're very confident in themselves. They don't have the most eye-popping physical traits. Buster, yes, was a top 5 pick, but nobody was like, oh, Buster swings the bat like Mike Piazza. Buster runs faster than this guy. Buster plays defensively like he's Yvonne Rodriguez. He was excellent, but he never had that one golden characteristic about his what?
I think that arm was elite for Buster Posey behind the back.
It was never better than Yadier's.
Yeah, but he got guys out. You did not want to run on Buster Posey.
I think Brock's feet are elite.
It is elite. Buster Posey's arm was elite. I think his hand-eye coordination was elite. I think his back control was elite. Hitting for average. That's not easy. That's not to scoff at. Damn near was a 300 hitter over the course of his career. So I think he had a lot of elite traits.
No,
Buster
I agree.
Posey.
But if you look at Brock Purdy, you don't think he has elite traits? He's one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the league.
No doubt.
His feet, in terms of pocket, like presence and feeling the rush, is elite. This year, he has scrambled out of more sacks than just about any quarterback in the league, if you look at the advanced numbers. I think Brock's elite. We've just miscalculated how we're doing the draft.
But see, the difference to me was that Buster Posey coming out in his draft, it was like, damn, he dropped to number 5. This guy's a baller.
No doubt.
This guy was.
But you're stuck on draft position.
No. It's not just draft position. It's just what he was doing at Florida State. We saw it. Once Buster Posey got to the leagues, it was like, it's not a matter of if he's going to be a great player. It's a matter of when he's going to be a great player.
But Brock Purdy broke every single record Iowa State's ever had. Like, I get it. It's easy to say because he was drafted 7th.
Well, Iowa State has had Seneca Wallace, and that's about it. And Seneca Wallace was a ready quarterback.
Still an accomplishment.
So, no, it's an accomplishment. Well, I'm just context matters. Iowa State has been a downtrodden program. They were a laughingstock in the Big 8 conference for a long, long time. And then once they got to the Big 12, they were more of a laughingstock. So it's not. I'm not trying to diminish Brock Purdy whatsoever. But when say, hey man, he broke the school. You know who has a school record for Michigan passing yards?
Michigan.
I
don't know. Brian Greasy.
Chad Henne.
Well, Chad Henne had a pretty good career at Michigan.
It's okay.
Well, I mean, we're looking at his college
out of all the
career.
quarterbacks in Michigan, but that's what I'm saying.
But they didn't throw a lot.
That's what I'm saying. But Tom threw it. Brian Greasy threw it.
Brock owns every record. All I'm just saying is this. The guy has conducted himself on and off the field very similar to Buster Posey. When I watch him at a podium and when I watch him play the game, I look at someone who looks like he's been in the league for a decade. And I see a lot of the same characteristics in terms of how they conduct themselves and the respect they command. And here's the big one, from their teammates. And then when you listen to them talk, there is a cadence and a way that they talk that is almost identical. Now, we would be playing the sound right now. We're having some trouble behind the back. But we have Buster Posey as a rookie. Not now, where now I think he's a little more of a red ass than he gave on. But in his rookie year, in the way that he did, like if you listen to him talk, it sounds like Brock Purdy.
Well, first and foremost, our guys have unbelievable stuff. I mean, they make my job easy in that sense. And I mean, I think if I came onto a staff that might have had guys that were 10, 12 years older than me, it might have been a little more difficult. But fortunately, you know, Timmy, Kane, Baum, Santi we're all around, you know, somewhat close to the same age, and we're able to get on the same page, and gosh, those guys did an unbelievable job.
Now, look, I'm not saying they're the exact same guy. Again, one guy's pedigree coming out was undeniable, right? He's the Heisman, the equivalent of the Heisman in baseball. The other guy was the last pick in the draft. I'm saying the characteristics, once they've gotten there, are damn near identical. The other part of this, B, and I think this is really important, both guys suffered devastating injuries and came back like that, only to be better. The elbow injury that Brock sustained, we're not talking enough about it. He wore a wrap the other day. I don't know what was going on. No one has followed up. We'll find out because he hasn't talked to the media. He was wearing a wrap on the sideline, and I was like, that's the first time all year I've really thought about the elbow injury. When Buster got ran over by Scott Cousins, he came back better than ever. 2012 NL MVP, and they ended up winning the World Series. Now, Brock's got to win the big one to even be in a paragraph with Buster Posey. But when I watch this guy at a podium, and when I watch the innate feel for the game, I get a lot of Buster Posey vibes.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm doing a cross-sport comparison. It's a good comparison. Buster Posey was fine at a podium, but then see, here's the difference between Buster and Brock Purdy. When Buster lost, when he lost the game, go play some of his clips after a loss. The guy was short. The guy was not happy. The guy
he was red ass.
Was a jerk. You know, and a podium. And that's fine because I'm a sore loser too.
Older in his career? I don't remember.
I remember the midst of his career. I remember 2014, 2015, 2016 because I was in those clubhouses. Brock Purdy, after a loss, he takes accountability. He talks to you. So I think that was the difference in terms of difference. But I hear what you're saying here. I hear what you're saying about the traits and being a leader and all that stuff. And that all makes sense. And that's fine. If we got the next Buster Posey, sign me up for it. The fact is, Buster Posey, or Brock Purdy, I should say, is playing at an elite level since the bye week. Now, why is he playing at an elite level? Because he has all his guys back, right? And one thing about Buster Posey, I knew he could carry a lineup. Right now,
true.
In his career, and it's not a knock on Brock Purdy whatsoever. Some people take it as a slight. Some people take it as a slander. But we saw during the course of 3 games, without Trent Williams and without Deebo Samuel, he wasn't able to carry the offense. He tried, and he played admirably.
How many guys in the league can actually carry an offense?
Yeah, exactly,
like that?
exactly.
I think it's really difficult.
It's difficult, but Josh Allen tries it. He damn near carried Buffalo to a win.
Josh Allen looked like John Elway meets Cam Newton the other day. I mean, he looked incredible.
We know Mahomes, and that's okay with Brock Purdy. He's in his first full year as a starting quarterback, so I'm not worried about. But Buster Posey came in as a rookie, and the Giants went from okay team to damn near I'm batting 400 in the month of July.
Yeah, but at the same time, they had multiple guys have career years. Andres Torres career year, Aubrey Huff career year, Uribe career year, even Pablo's,
But Buster Posey completed that lineup, and he took that lineup to another level.
But he wasn't the best player in that lineup that year. Pat Burrell got acquired midseason.
I don't know. He's rookie of the year.
No doubt he was rookie of the year. Bonte, I think 4 guys had career years.
And then 2 years later, he carried that lineup.
No doubt.
So right now, Brock Purdy. So right now, Brock Purdy, the one thing that he has to do is come back in a football game, which I don't really care about, to be honest with you. I just want to win. I don't really get caught up in how many comeback victories he has. But
Jalen's comeback on Sunday was impressive.
Very impressive. But Brock, he's got to come back in a football game, and the next level for him, especially because once the money changes when it comes to salary, now he's going to be expected to do a lot more, and he will be expected to carry a lineup, which is not. But I'm just putting it out there.
No, that's a good point. But I'll cross that bridge in 2 years.
What we saw during the 3-game losing streak was a failure to carry the offense. It was 5 turnovers in 5 quarters. That I can't unsee that. And we dismissed this guy and that guy. That's why when it comes to Deebo Samuel, Trent Williams, and Christian McCaffrey, you need those guys right now. Brock needs those guys, and he understands that. But I hear you on the characteristics when it comes to Buster and Brock Purdy. I don't get caught up in the podium game. Some of that stuff is all robotic.
No, I'm talking about the respect that you command from the media, the fans, and the teammates.
Well, the media respected Jimmy Garoppolo. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
they respected Jimmy Garoppolo. The media respects anybody who is a nice guy to him. You get what I'm saying?